Hey, it's the biggest question right now around the NFL draft. Should the Arizona Cardinals take Kyler Murray number 1 overall? I'm about to tell you why they should. What is going on, Headliner Nation? Welcome back. Next episode of Fantasy Headliners. Going to have some fun today with this one. We're talking about Kyler Murray. And yeah, he's all over the news. The rumors going around that he could be the number 1 pick to the Arizona Cardinals. Some people love it. Some people hate it. I'm sure all the people who hate it will let me know in the comment sections, but I really don't care. You know why? The more comments you leave, the more views I get, so thank you very much. Anyway, moving on to Kyler Murray. Does he belong in this discussion for the number 1 pick? Personally, I think he really does. I think it makes a lot of sense for the Arizona Cardinals, and I'm going to get into a few reasons as to why I feel that way, not only from a football perspective, but from a business perspective. So let's dive right into it. Let's see why I think Kyler Murray should go number 1 to the Arizona Cardinals. All right, let's start off where everybody wants to start off with Kyler Murray, talking about his size. And does size matter? The football size. Come on, people. You know what I'm talking about. Does his football size matter? Obviously, we don't want somebody out there that's 4'4", trying to see over the line of scrimmage throwing a football. I get it. It's not going to work. But at the combine, he measured just over 5 feet 10 inches, 207 pounds. And the comparisons will always be either to Drew Brees and Russell Wilson. Now, yes, I understand that for the most part, all NFL quarterbacks are going to be over that 6 foot mark. You want to be over that 6 foot mark in order to be quote-unquote successful. There's very few guys that have succeeded at that shorter height. I understand that. But he plays bigger than he really is. And height is not the determining factor. Look at Blake Bortles. Dude is 6'5" and absolutely sucks. His height doesn't seem to fix his accuracy issues, doesn't seem to fix his interception problems. It doesn't always matter. The guy plays bigger than he is. Look at a comparable quarterback, an early round quarterback here in this NFL draft. We're talking about Dwayne Haskins. He's 6'3". Nobody's talking about his height, and yet this past season, he had the same amount of pass attempts blocked down at the line of scrimmage as Kyler Murray with 5. The height of him seen over the offensive line, that's going to be the case for a lot of people. You can also turn it around and say it's going to be hard for the defensive line to try to find little Kyler Murray there behind his big offensive lineman. Despite his small size, though, he's one of the most efficient passers in college. In fact, he was the most efficient passer in this draft with a passer rating of 199.2. We put too much into measurables. The numbers that are associated with nothing to do with playing the actual game of football. Watch the film. See for yourself. Can the kid play? I think so. Last year, he had a combined total of 54 touchdowns, 42 through the air, 12 on the ground, ran for over 1,000 yards, threw for 4,300. I think the guy can play football just a little bit. In my opinion, does his size matter right here? No, it really doesn't. All right, so let's move on to why I really believe that the Arizona Cardinals need to take Kyler Murray number 1 overall. First reason, horrible offensive line. This is one of the worst offensive lines as a whole in all of football. Yes, I'm sure they'll make some additions here during free agency and the NFL draft. But I really don't feel that an immobile quarterback, somebody similar to Josh Rosen, now he's not like Eli Manning back there, but he's not what you would typically look at as a mobile quarterback. He's more of a pocket passer. They need the mobile quarterback to avoid some of this pressure, extend some of these plays, because otherwise we're going to have an exact repeat of last year. It's not so much that Josh Rosen is just horrible. He just doesn't fit this offensive scheme that's going to be coming to Arizona and the Cliff Kingsbury-led offense. A lot of people don't realize Kyler Murray averaged more yards per carry in college than Michael Vick, 7.1 yards per carry. He's not a run-first quarterback, but he is definitely a quarterback that is able to run when the pressure gets in his face, and he has to make something happen. Definitely a plus for Kyler Murray here. Nick Bosa, the consensus number 1, who a lot of people thought that Arizona would take number 1 overall, isn't going to really help them win games this season. He is an extraordinary talent. By far, probably one of the best pass rushers that we've seen in a few years coming out of the draft. But the Arizona Cardinals have so many needs. And if you really don't have that franchise quarterback, it doesn't matter what you put on the defensive side of the football. You're not going to be successful for a 16-game season in the NFL. Nick Bosa, great talent, doesn't help them win enough games this season in Arizona. Now, I just mentioned Cliff Kingsbury. He's the new head coach there in Arizona. He runs an air raid offense. If you're not familiar with that, he likes to go out 4 wide, run and gun, up-tempo type of offense. That's not really going to fit Josh Rosen. He's not that mobile quarterback. He's not somebody, like I said a little bit earlier, he can't extend the plays, allow the receivers time to get open. There's limited options there, right? We know Larry Fitzgerald's there on his 64th season. Christian Kirk coming back from an injury. We have David Johnson who will be running behind one of these bad offensive lines like we talked about. We need somebody that can make things happen. That is Kyler Murray. And the Arizona Cardinals, they had to know this style of offense from Cliff Kingsbury, right? I mean, they didn't just all of a sudden figure out after they hired him. They knew what they were getting themselves into. They knew that in the past, Cliff Kingsbury had gone on record, on camera, in an interview and said if he had the #1 pick, he would take Kyler Murray. I mean, this is somebody in his college days who basically is being credited for discovering Baker Mayfield, Patrick Mahomes. He's definitely got that innate ability to find talent at the quarterback position. He tried to get Kyler Murray out of high school, couldn't get him. Definitely somebody who's been on Cliff Kingsbury's radar for a very long time. But Arizona has to do something quickly. They have to get some wins going in this organization. Otherwise, people are going to start losing their jobs. They can't sit around and wait for this 5, 6, 7, 8-year plan, kind of like the Browns have been doing. It's a little bit different. They've been losing for a few years already in Arizona, ever since Bruce Arians left. It's definitely something they need to address and addressed here quickly. And as far as I'm concerned, it kind of makes business sense, too. Arizona has multiple needs, right? There's not just one quarterback away from the Super Bowl. Drafting Murray and trading Rosen for draft picks possibly opens the door for more potential draft picks. If you could get a first-round draft pick for Josh Rosen, if you could get an early second-round pick for Josh Rosen, whatever it is, you're able to fill another need. Worst-case scenario, Kyler Murray kind of, busts a little bit, and you're no different off than you would have been had you still had Josh Rosen, except now you get that extra pick, that extra opportunity to fill an extra hole. It really makes a lot of sense, in my opinion, for Arizona to go after Kyler Murray. So I think as long as you look at it that way, more of a business decision other than a which player is better decision. Obviously, Murray has upside. Yes, he has question marks, but let's be realistic. So does Josh Rosen in this offense. A lot of people are worried saying, well, he's going to go somewhere else and he's going to be amazing. And that's entirely possible. You put Josh Rosen in a system that's used to having a pocket-style quarterback, a New England. Maybe he's the Brady successor. Put him in New York at the Giants, and you give him Odell and Sterling Shepard and Evan Ingram and Saquon Barkley and the improved offensive line there in New York. All of the sudden, Josh Rosen is a lot more appealing. Josh Rosen in Arizona, though, just has too many things going against him in this new offense that I think he's going to struggle. Kyler Murray may not come in and win 10 games for the Arizona Cardinals, but the extra picks they gain from Rosen may help fill enough needs to start to turn this team in the right direction. It's really just how you look at it, how you want to look at it. You can't just write things off right away because the guy's 5'10". You can't just not look at it from a business perspective because it's all tied together. Kind of my reasoning why I believe the Arizona Cardinals should take Kyler Murray #1 overall. But let me know what you think. Put it down in the comment section down below. Do you think he's deserving of the #1 pick? Or do you just say, I don't like the guy, he's too short, he's never going to make it, he's going to bust, and you write it off really before you've seen too much of Kyler Murray? I'm really curious to see what you guys' responses are down there in the comment section, whether you agree with me or you don't. I'd like to hear it down below. I'm not saying I'm right and you're all wrong. It's all perspective. It's all opinion at this point, but I'd like to know what yours is. Really appreciate the support. Make sure you're hitting that like button, hitting the subscribe button. We got plenty of content coming out here in the next coming weeks. Looking forward to interacting with you guys. Have a good rest of your week. We'll talk to you later. Thanks.